What do you think about this little dog? Wow. It's not a big knife, is it? This is the cassowary. You know, I guess the whole concept is like claws. You know, cassowary in Australia, right? They're vicious as birds. They eat some crazy fruit too. And they get very aggressive, especially when they got young around, etc. They're dinosaur birds, right? But this is the cassowary. Here we go. Cassowary from Koch tools. Okay. Remember the corvid, the big chopper, the corvid. Then they made the regular corvid M, which is medium, and then the little corvid, the little tiny one. And they've made it in all kinds of different kinds. Go on Kansept and check it out. They've got a whole bunch of new iterations of the mini corvid, also of the little Main Street. I just did a video recently on this. I like the little Main Street. I know it's like a keychain knife, but it is super handy. It is. I've liked the mini corvid. I mean, and the mini corvid, not as useful as the mini Main Street as far as like everyday cutting tasks. The big corvid is a monster and it's way cool. The medium corvid is probably your most usable of those three sizes of the corvid. But okay, but this is Koch tools as well. Koch tools. And so they've got on the link I give you to Kansept on this whole thing, right? They do talk about Koch tools. So, and that they make everyday carry type tools, right? So that's what and so now they've got into the knife thing, and so they're doing this with Kansept. Another thing I wanted to bring up about Kansept, and if you're on Instagram, this blew my mind because I did get an email from Kansept saying they can't get their Instagram page back. Instagram removed it. I mean, I thought maybe they got hacked. Like, I've had my Instagram page hacked, okay? And I got it back, amazingly. But they didn't get it hacked. Instagram took their page away. Oh my God. I mean, they're just a knife manufacturer. I mean, we're hobbyists, okay? We're hobbyists. I don't care how anti-whatever you are, you can't be anti-knives. I'll go into anybody's house and say, show me a knife. You got a knife in here. You got knives all over the place in your kitchen. Give me a break, okay? Come on. But this is really sad. But note, at Kansept _knives, and you got to type that whole thing in to find their new page. Find their new page and follow them, just to show that you're not going to be jacked with, okay? Go to Kansept _knives, and just so you don't get jacked with, that is bullshit all the way. And here is their new page, okay? So go there, and they got like 500 followers. Oh, cut it off. That's all. Because, you know, it's just getting out now that they've had to go to a whole different page. And so they tell you on that posting there, you know. That is so much BS. Okay, what was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about the designer, Koch tools, okay, and the cassowary, about a touch of style, that's for sure, and 3-inch blade, etc., etc. Okay, so it's a strong detent. Is that what they said in there too? Strong detent, buttery smooth action. Boy, I was going to say, this is something I did notice, because I usually check the detent. It's like, no, and then you turned around. If you can't kick it out that way, okay, I get it. But you should be able to snap it out like that. But first of all, it's a small knife, so it's not easy to do that. You don't have enough weight on the blade. And second of all, no, it's a strong detent. But here's the thing. It works because all you've got is a flipper tab. It's not a front flipper. You don't have ambidextrous thumb studs, any of that shit. So you can't just kick it out like that. So you do have to do this. And doing this, oh yeah, bang. It's a no-fail detent, that's for sure. That's stiff, but it's not overly stiff. So they do say, yeah, it's a strong detent. And yes, it's a strong detent, but it doesn't feel annoyingly strong. No, it just feels snappy is what it feels. But this is a jazzy looking knife, isn't it? Yeah, it's got that storm anno, finish on it. And then check out the pivot. They got it all jazzed up, don't they? That thing, now that, actually, I was feeling that pivot. It's kind of like if you stuck, you just ran a drill bit, like boom, 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 and went around like that. That's kind of what that is. And I don't know if that's maybe the way they made those, but it's taller here than it is at the side, so it's contoured. That couldn't have been real easy to do, but they did it. And here it says Cassowary and then Koch tools up here. And then their model number. Not easy to see through the Damascus, But there she be. And of course, holes in the front. Not in the back, though. Well, it'd be a little tough to do holes in the back, wouldn't it? Like this, because you're going to go right through the log bar and kind of screw a bunch of shit up. I don't think you could really do it and make sense. Unless you did little holes along here, but yeah, nah, probably not worth doing. But it's attractive. Now this little dog, if you noticed on the page I showed, it was like $199. And you can get it for $199 on White Mountain Knives. Now, all the Cassowary knives are not that expensive. This one is because this is like Mr. Schmancy, right? But they got just regular bladed, And I can't remember right off the bat what the blade steel is on the standard ones. Obviously, it's a premium steel. This one is Damascus. But $199, 10% off would be about $20 off. So $190, $89, $79, right? About $179, $180 for this. And this is the highest end, I believe. So there you go. So they're not terribly expensive compared to what's going on these days, I swear. Okay, let's put it on the scale. But yeah, I was going to tell you, detent. Of course, this is the fancy setup. And the thing about Kansept getting their page removed, holy crap. I'll tell you what, you don't know if you're being shadow banned by Instagram. I have been for a while, and I didn't know it. And I was talking to a buddy of mine that has an IG account, and he goes, I've been shadow banned. I go, how do you know? And he goes, you got to click on here, and you go in there, and if you guys know how to do it, go check. If you don't, I'll try and put the little directions down below on what to click on. Go to this menu, go down there and look at your account status. And then it'll say some items cannot be shown to others, blah, 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 because you're showing a knife. And so the only people that get to see what you're posting are people who already follow you. It will not be out there for somebody else to follow. Wow. That means you'll never get any new people following you because they'll never find you. Okay, so I just wore that one out, didn't I? Okay, hold on. Let me turn this back on. 95 grams. And 3.35 ounces. Yep. Is that a big dog? No, that's not a very big dog. Where's my Spidey? There you go. Nope. Probably about the same size as the pair of 3, I would say, because a pair of 3 is like a 3 and a 7, 3-inch blade, 7-inch overall. And this is a, come on, hold on. Yeah, under 3 actually, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's a 2.8 maybe. I mean, it's a 5 7/8, 2 7/8 blade. Okay, at about 74 millimeters, and then overall 6.5, pretty close to somewhere between there and 6 5/8 at 16, under 17, right? Under 17 millimeters. I mean, centimeters. So, yeah, 16.9, basically 17 centimeters. But there she be. Wow. Good looking. I mean, you know, a nice blade shape, almost a swept blade, but not really. And then this little sucker in there kind of gives it a certain design cue to it that makes it look nice. And of course the design flow is really good from here to here. Blade to handle length, maybe they could have tucked a 32nd into there. I just don't know. I mean, depends on where that blade's coming up to when it's folded in there, but it's got it pretty much taken up. The pocket clip is nice, isn't it? And it kind of flows with the whole design. It's centered. Lockup is 20%, maybe 25%. There's a difference in height here, so it's not difficult to disengage. Is it over the, it's already over the detent ball. Okay. So it's not drop shutty, but then again, there could be a reason for that. And it could be that this is a little tighter. I'm going to take this apart and put it back together. We can see kind of how that, or if that changes anything. But this is pretty much, and you know, over time as well. And then if you put your favorite lube in there, maybe also as well. But I usually find that it's a matter of adjusting the tension on the pivot that can change the behavior a lot. And then sometimes just time and fidgety. And it'll break in. Okay, well, it's good. I can get all 4 fingers on there, but barely. And will the knife be a knife? And if I can get myself a piece of paper around here, I'll check it out. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's not scary sharp, but it's got a good factory edge. So there's that. Some people like Damascus blades. Some people are not that partial to them. Me, it just depends. I'm one of these people that I think it looks good on some knives and others, no. And this, I think it's appropriate for this. I like the effect that it does here because you got this storm anno on here. So if you're gonna make it bougie, you're gonna, you know, go ahead, just kick it all the way to the wall. And they did. So there's that. And here's the box it comes in, by the way. And it did give you most of the information, 2.9 inch blade. Okay, so it is technically under a 3-inch blade. There's your stuff, and of course there's a little microfiber cloth in there along with some paperwork, and then here's your little pouch, and then of course there's plastic that the knife goes into, and it all goes together in a very sturdy box. Yeah, that's tough. So they're good. I mean, the boxes, they're nice. The knives are nice too. You know, Kansept, very, very similar to me to Kaiser. You know what I'm saying? And they both have interesting collaborative designers that they work with. So it just depends, you know, who's doing what. So they definitely compete with each other in that regard, I believe. So good quality, not crazy expensive, and yeah, this one is nice, designed by Koch tools. So yeah, I like the Corvid too, but we don't all need a big old cleaver knife. And so this one is definitely a departure, isn't it? All right, well then, maybe we can grab our little mat and do a disassembly. Before we do anything, let's just run down this road. 12.7 millimeter at 0.5, that's your thickness there. And your blade thickness is 0.11, which is 2.8 millimeter. Just in case you are curious. All right, now let's see if we can get into this. And if so, which side is the appropriate side? And we have two different openings here, and they're both turning. So we don't have a captured pivot on this. It's not a big, huge deal to me as long as I got a way to stabilize the other side, and then we can break it apart, like exactly what we're going to do here. And is that a screw, or is that, no, it's got to go out the other way. Okay, so we're unscrewing this screw from here. There we go, just like that. So we're good. Have no fear. And you know what? I bet these are a number 6. And they are. So I've never really had one of these Kansept knives just get so vicious stuck together that I couldn't break it apart. I've always been able to break it apart, but they don't use a captured pivot. So you got, you know, you need a couple of number 8s so you can hold it on one side and break it from the other, whatever you need to do. But, and there's that, and there's this. And if you want to come out of there, we got both those, look like they're the same size. And put these dogs back in here. Now let's see what we got. And open it up. And here we go. We got ceramic bearings right looking at us. And this is the presentation side. There's a hardened steel insert on the lock bar. Let's pull this off. Another set of ceramic bearings, ceramic detamp ball, and then some weight relieving going on in here as well. And of course, I don't know, is there any weight relieving going on here? Yeah, pretty much. So we got it done. And so pop this out. And of course, this should be round, and it is. And yeah, it's not captured pivot. And then we've got this ceramic bearings, both here and there, if they give up the ghost and drop out. And that one is not dropping out, but it should, and it does. It finally does. And then, since they got titanium, then they've got a steel washer that's got some grunge to it, doesn't it? Did it catch something from the anno process or what? Yeah, it'll scrape off. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it could be something from the manufacturing. But yeah, okay, it scrapes off. There we go. That's your disassembly. There we are. Cassowary. We're back. It's back together. Easy apart, easy together. Good looking knife. Check it out on Kansept. We are LuvThemKnives. And go Follow them on Instagram. Get that thing back together again. And you guys, stay sharp.